Podcast starts at 19 seconds.
So, welcome to a new episode of Fit the Description, a Black Men's podcast where various black men come together to talk about life, society. Let me do that one more time. Welcome to a new episode. Welcome to a new episode of Fit the Description, a Black Men's podcast where various black men come together to talk about life, society, entertainment, culture, news, and whatever else we want to talk about from various black men's perspectives. I'm your host, G. So today we got James.
What up?
And we have Keez.
Yep.
Like always, make sure when you come in, make sure to like and subscribe. Also, do me a favor, check out the Clips channel, Fit the Description. And just so you know, if you're listening to this on the audio platforms, you are at a delay. So if you want to get the up-to-date episode, you got to come to the YouTube channel on OPN and you'll have the update episode. But other than that, I want to thank y'all. We appreciate y'all. And yeah, we'll go ahead and get started. And with that, you know what? Because we haven't done it in a while, I like doing these monthly updates. I haven't done in a while about how we're doing. And just to shout out some of the fan base for a little bit to see how we're doing. So real quick, I know a lot of y'all can't see it. Of course, we want to thank all our international fans real quick. You know, we got some people. We actually added, what's that, Tanzania? Or Tanzania? I don't know how to say it, but shout out to y'all because we see y'all new on the list. You know, shout out to Ireland, Zambia, India, Reunion, Sweden, I can't even say that one. I'll put it on the screen. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to Canada, the UK. Shout out to y'all. France in third. Germany, of course. Shout out to y'all, and of course the US, the homeland. So I just want to take the time because I like doing these monthly updates to see who's listening, and to let y'all know, man, we appreciate y'all. Thank you for checking out the podcast. With that being said, outside the monthly update, we're going to go ahead and get started.
Be careful of the hot salsa at Chipotle. I didn't know this red crap was hot, and oh my god, I put too much. My mouth is on fire.
I'm still laughing that he didn't hear the words.
Computer blue.
And like we said, that is his song. That is his intro song.
Damn. I mean, he knew the beat. See, that's the problem. When you get hooked into them beats, man, I don't know. I'll be listening to all kind of goofy shit, and then you start thinking about it like, wow, what is that? What did they just say?
I mean, well, that's what hip hop is all today, man. It's mostly the beat, and then you can say whatever. Nobody really knows what anybody says.
For real.
They said this, bro.
I
They
just
said
say
they
that for the longest. I'd be like, gotta take it. Bit.
That's some real. That's exactly how it be. And that's the sad part. Lyricism in hip hop is dead, in my personal opinion. You know, I don't know if you heard, but there was a story that Andre 3000 came out and said, like, if I know that this was hip hop today, what I don't remember his exact words, but basically what he was saying was, if I knew hip hop was going to be what it is today, I want to put so much effort into the craft. Basically, is what he was saying.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. So anyway, so I think me and James were talking about this last time, and we were talking about the Handmaid's Tale, and you said you were watching that show, right?
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Why? What you want to know?
Well, the thing is, and I think we didn't get into it, but like, because I'm trying to figure out, because I be seeing women, like, there was that one big huge story of those women that were like dressed up as a Handmaid's Tale. I'm trying to figure out like what goes on with that show and why is that so important. And you were telling me some stuff, but we didn't get into it, so I wanted to hear more.
Of course, I wasn't gonna tell you about it, nigga, because if you watch it, I don't want to spoil it. But
I'm not planning on watching it, but
you might want to. That is ridiculous. Under his eye.
Well, okay.
Well,
Well,
let's get the synopsis.
Under his eye.
exactly. What's the synopsis? Like, why is it so crazy?
Synopsis is a bunch of dudes beating shit out of a bunch of chicks. I mean, under his eye. That's it. It's real. It's dope. I fucks with it.
That's
watched
it.
I watched every season. Hell yeah.
All right, let's open the preview.
Hits on everything, bro. Lesbianism, interracialism, assaultism,
It just
sexism. It's great.
It just sounds like it's just a show of abuse of women. That's what it sounds like.
I mean, yeah, pretty much, bro. That is the basis of the show.
I guess I gotta watch it because I've been seeing women like just stand. I'm like, I don't get it. Like I said, I haven't watched the show, but yeah, it just like I said, from what it just sounds like it's just a show about women.
It's like, okay, if chicks are rooting for it, it's because quote unquote it shows empowerment of women. But if you watch the whole thing, you're like, yeah, these hoes being. There's one black chick, she ends up turning into a prostitute. I mean, what
These
the
hoes
fuck?
ain't loyal.
No, she okay. Good lord, you gotta watch the show, man. I ain't trying to tell all the business. What if he's on here watching it? They get interested, listening to the podcast. They want to watch it. There ain't no point then.
Well, you gotta get people interested because right now I'm not interested.
Well, then that's not a show you're gonna watch. Okay, I'm watching another show now, but
I mean, pretty much. I mean, I'm not sure if I want to watch a show.
He said, I don't give a f. That's just a show you're not gonna watch.
I mean, it don't hurt me if you don't watch it. I don't make no money off that, but I think it was that show was brilliant. I mean, literally, that show is brilliant. They hit on everything. Literally, hit on everything. I thought she was supposed to be queuing up a preview.
No, I mean that was. Oh, fine. I'll queue it up. I was expecting you to do that, but fine.
Mm-mm. And it won't make any sense unless you pull up the first preview because there's like 4 seasons. There's levels to this game, bro. A pimp's love is much different than a square.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
I don't even see the first.
Oh my
here
God.
it is. 3 years ago, right?
Yeah, like I said, 4 seasons. Yeah.
I was asleep before. That's how we let it happen. When they slaughtered Congress, we didn't wake up. When they blamed terrorists and suspended the Constitution.
Will serve the leaders and their barren wives. You will bear children for them.
I want to keep on
This shit
living
crazy.
for her. Do not let them grind you down, you. They should have never given us uniforms if they didn't want us to be an army.
Hell yeah. That shit is dope. Yeah, that shit is wild.
Yeah, I don't know what is going on, but that is some weird.
Dude, trust me, bro. When I first started watching it, I was like, what? Like, as soon as it starts, you're just like, oh, what the fuck are they doing here? And then it just gets worse. Like, things that you don't think would happen. He said, this
people are getting forced to have leaders' children.
Okay.
Fornication.
All right. Basically, this is how it works. It
look like for sure.
Like I said, they be these chicks up, basically, but some happened and the basically like part of the US gets taken over like by the North, basically. Like the South shall rise again type. But these have a whole different way of looking at things. Like they have a whole different religious Bible and faith and blah blah blah. So one day while everybody's chilling, the military gets activated and these come in and just start taking chicks away. Like picking up everybody in the path and snatching up all these chicks. The chicks are, if you're not an officer or a high ranking person, you're basically nothing in this country. So they test you and see if you can have kids. If you can have kids, then you're made a handmaid. So all of these commanders and the war and stuff, their wives, most of them are barren, can't have kids. So the handmaids are supposed to be surrogates. So they've now made up this whole, like, it's a whole ritual. Like, basically, the wife holds the chick down, the dude comes in the room and just goes to town on her until she gets knocked up. Like, they have this, like, there's like a doctor, the doctor makes sure the time of the month, and every month this nigga just goes in there and lets it rain. You know? While the
Wow.
wife watches. And then once the chick gets okay, the chick lives in the house too. So once the chick gets knocked up, then she basically, her and the wife are like inseparable. Because and then afterwards, like when the chick's having the kid, the handmaids all come over and help the handmaid, but then all of the wives come over and help the wife, and they in separate rooms pretend like they're doing this whole thing. So the wife is pretending to go on the labor, the wife is pretending all of it. And then once the handmaid has the kid, they give the kid to the wife. Like, basically it's her kid. So
Wow.
then afterwards, it's her kid, and the handmaid goes back to, wherever. If they want her to go to another commander's house and try to, that's what she does,
And the wives are not fornicating because of what?
They're it's not that they're not foreign, they're barren, they can't have kids.
Oh.
So the handmaids are basically there to reproduce for these dudes. So when the handmaid gets out of line, they beat the dog out of these chicks. So,
That's some crazy stuff right there.
but then they do some, to these chicks. It's crazy. The one chick that got out of line, they like cut her eye out.
Oh,
Some
that's
chick was
horrible.
some chick was found to be a lesbian, so they took her away.
So
Yeah, dude, there's some cold they be doing to these chicks. But then, like,
meanwhile, I'm watching Once Upon a Time.
yeah, you what? Nah, that you gotta watch some gangster. Like, even like they basically have them like dogs, so they like beat on them and do all this, and then if something happens and they need them to be enforcers, like there was one time some dude got convicted of basically attacking a handmaid or something. So they took him out in front of all the handmaids in this field that nobody else could see. And they were like, this is accused of attacking one of your people. So what do you do? And these went and killed this dude right there in the field. Like, they beat him to death. Like, and then once they were done beating and clawing and scratching and biting on this until he died, then they told him get back in formation and go back out.
Wow.
So, but the main white chick that you were seeing there, she already had a kid. So what happens is her husband ended up getting away. So when these fuckers get away, they go to Canada. So the husband's in Canada, but he's trying to get his wife back. The kid got snatched with the mom. So the kid gets put in foster care, and then they get sent to a family. And then they kind of raise them until they're a certain age, and then they basically become like a handmaid. So this cycle just keeps repeating.
Wow. Yeah.
The fuck part about that white chick is the dude, the commander that she's getting railed by, he can't have kids. The wife knows that he can't have kids. So she got the driver that drives him around to start nailing the handmaid. So they just passing this whole around.
Wow.
That
I never, I
handmaid.
never, I never could get into that. I don't know. I'm a weird breed. I can't. You know, some people flip females. I just can't do it.
Yeah, I'm telling you, dude, that is like they be drowned. They like, okay, your punishment is sentenced to death. They ain't as soon as you do it, they took him to a high school gym, tied some bricks to him, and kicked that into the pool. And then the chick that he got trouble with, they threw her in there too.
I just want to say this because I think you probably just totally missed what Keez said, but dude, you're not really weird about like not flipping females. Most normal people don't want to do that. That's not a normal thing that she should want to do, by the way.
But that's
Okay.
just it. The dude didn't flip the chick. It was the wife who was like, we're gonna find a dude to get you knocked up so I can have a baby. So they were basically just, she was just trying to figure out somebody to, this dude, this chick. But if the commander finds out, he can kill them all. Like the commander found out that his wife was like reading, and then he punished her by cutting off her fingers.
Damn.
Like it's a cold, dude.
And you know, I could tell some of those things are based on actual real stories.
Man,
I can tell you
again,
straight up.
like I said, if you ever watch the show, you'll be like, what the is going on here? I don't know. I got into that when Harlots was on because I needed something to counteract that show.
No, I don't even know what that is. I never even heard of that.
I used to call it whores. It's a show about back in the olden days, like a brothel owner.
Oh.
So it's just a bunch of whores and it's like sharing their stories and like dudes coming in and that's crazy too. I watch a bunch of crazy shit, so whatever.
So, are y'all saying it's like gory stuff too?
I mean, not really. Most of the that I watch has to pique my interest somehow.
So, are you psychological kind of guy?
Like the 4400 or like Travelers, it's like, stupid, weird sci-fi shit that they keep trying to like press, or the 100. That's fucking hilarious.
I couldn't get into none of those.
You can't?
I mean, I never really watched. It's like so you're that guy that's kind of like into Lost, right?
No, never watched it.
Okay. Yeah.
Like the 100 is funny because it's basically like if you read books, it pretty much turns into Lord of the Flies at the end of that shit. They basically, it was like a bunch of Earth basically got destroyed. So they sent a pod to outer space, and these fuckers just lived on a little space station. Well, they had lived there for so long, these had kids and shit like that. So then they were like, okay, we're gonna take 100. I don't remember. I think it was criminals, like 100 criminals, and we're gonna send them back down there, or fucking whatever planet. I don't remember that part. We're gonna send them back down there, and they're gonna figure shit out. And if they die, they die.
Wait a minute. So, wait a minute, all those because I remember the commercials. All those 100 people were criminals.
Yeah, they were like people like young people that got convicted. So they were like, we won't lose. It doesn't matter if we lose them or not.
Oh, like I said, they came down looking like regular people. So I didn't
No,
know.
they were kids, and they
kids?
shipped them there. Most of them were kids, and they shipped them down there. And then like they were like, okay, we got to just establish some in base and all that. And then all of a sudden they were like, that we just take this over. We don't need to do anything. So then started killing people, and it was just Lord of the Flies. Like they just started murdering people. Only the strong survive type shit.
Okay, yeah.
I think at one point they started eating people. if I got my shows correct. Because at one they had made a little colony, but nobody knew like on the ship what the hell was going on because they had these like monitors on them, like basically they were house arrest bracelets. But as soon as a person died, they would show like, oh, the monitor's not tracking anything, was dead. So these were just going to town. They were building little colonies. They were fighting each other, killing. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah, you see, that almost sounds like, especially with the part of like eating people.
Mm-hmm.
Like because that's what I've been thinking about watching because I've been hearing about. It's a Jeffrey Dahmer story.
Oh yeah, my nephew's watching that shit. I was like, nah, I was living when that shit was going down. I'm straight. I
Oh, were
remember.
you?
Yes.
Oh, but you're not watching it.
Fuck no. Why do I need to watch it? Think I remember that shit on the news.
Yeah, well, see, the thing I didn't know because my grandma used to tell me about that dude. But the one thing I didn't know is that he was doing it in black neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I didn't know. I thought, from my understanding, I thought that dude just went around and started killing people and eating people.
That motherfucker, dude. He got his crime spree was from, hold on, let's see. Span of crimes from 1978 to 1991. So yeah, nigga, that was like pretty much my goddamn life. This nigga was around killing people. I don't need to watch this nigga's movie series shit. They found a refrigerator with all this nigga shit in it. I'm straight.
I finally saw the Tekken show on Netflix.
Oh, you finally saw a little anime short.
No, I watched the entire thing. I wouldn't call it
I
short,
did
but
too. Well, it's not that long. I watched it too.
yeah. So what'd you think about it?
I liked it. It was more of this. It was more of almost more of the same as the other old one, kind of. So
No,
I mean,
the other old one, the one I can remember, was not that good at all.
yeah, this I actually liked it. I actually liked it, to be honest with you, but that's mostly because I'm a Tekken fan. Outside of being a Tekken fan, I don't know if how many people will gravitate to it.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry for being a Tekken fan. I mean, it was good, but it definitely had its issues.
Elaborate.
All right. So one, there wasn't like a lot of those fighters weren't really there. Like there was a lot more people around that time. Two, oh, okay. Number two, they definitely took some liberties on the story because if you actually look back at the game, it was actually Paul who technically won. But I think it was Jin that wound up winning because he beat Ogre. But they were saying like the entire tournament, Paul basically won until Ogre showed up. So they basically
He never, but he beat Paul.
what? No,
Because
that's
what's his name? Jim beat Paul. And
no,
Jim didn't lose.
no. King beat Paul. If you talk about the show,
Yeah, right. So, but I'm saying, and on the
in the,
show,
in the
okay, hold on, back up. Are you talking about the show or the actual game?
the actual game, that's why I said they took liberties with the story. The actual game around that period, that because that's basically based on Tekken 3. That like if you go to Tekken 4, they said Paul actually won that tournament until Ogre showed up. That's why Paul did not get the respect for winning that tournament and became a drunk. That's why his hair was all down and everything. Was because what happened was, and I don't remember who actually beat Ogre. Like who was the guy who actually officially beat him? I don't know if it was Jin. I think it was Jin. I think it was Jin who officially beat him. But basically, if you go to 4, basically 4 said Paul actually won the tournament. Then Ogre showed up and he didn't get the credit for winning.
Right.
And so the credit went to Jin for winning. And so that's what happened. So he got all pissed and became a drunk and everything. So, and that's what I'm saying. Like, they didn't even touch on that story. They just kind of skipped over all that. Just made it, basically made a Jin story, which is fine. I mean, he's the main character of it. So it is what it is. I mean, so that's probably one thing. I kind of don't like the Devil Jin's kind of like ending. Like I was hoping Devil Jin would come out, which I guess it kind of falls to game two. But I was hoping Devil Jin would actually like beat what's like the ogre's second form, and then do that to Heihachi and then fly away. I was more hoping that would happen. Oh, I should say. Well, I'll put spoilers at the be. I'll put spoilers early on. So yeah, so I would say that that's the thing. And even the tournament. Like I feel like the tournament because they skipped over a lot of characters that should have been there.
But they kind of switched it up because I can't really go off of Tekken 3 because it's kind of made it its own thing because
So be aware.
one,
So I just want to say this real quick, and I'll let you go. I'm going off of the basically at the end of Tekken 3 and going at the beginning of Tekken 4, some of the beginning storylines. But yeah, go ahead.
okay, so I don't think I don't think it's fully off Tekken 3. I kind of feel like I almost feel like it's its own thing, and the reason I say that
it is.
The reason I say that is also because the character, it has characters from Tekken 7 in it.
Yeah, that's facts, and they're not even featured. That's like I said. They show a lot of those characters, but they're not even featured. I'm like, what the heck?
Right. Because what's his name? The dude, the old Wushu dude, which I don't know how Jin beat him that fast. I felt that the black dude, they pulled the black guy gets it first in this cartoon because I don't think that dude should have lost that easy, and I don't think he should have lost that fast.
Well, I mean, and you're right, and he shouldn't even been there in the first place.
And that part, and he shouldn't have been there in the first place. But like I said, it's his own thing because he wasn't even introduced until Tekken 7.
Exactly. So and like I mean, and even like the character, because they showed off a lot of characters, and they never really featured on them. They never really featured them at all.
Right. Right.
So that's nothing. Like that tournament should have been a lot longer. Like I'll put like this: the original. I almost like the original anime better because it makes a little bit more sense where every fighter's on different points. Although it does make sense and it doesn't, where all the fighters are at a different point and gotta go all the way to the center to fight.
Mm-hmm.
But that makes a little bit more sense. But yeah, like this one, it definitely took. No, you're right. It's its own thing. It definitely took liberties on the storyline because I mean, to me, it mainly was based on Tekken 3. That's the main like core. But I feel like they added different things in, which to me, I rather them, like you said, kind of added some of that stuff later. So Tekken, most everybody from Tekken 3, but then you have like a couple of guys like from like Steve, I think he was there and he's from Tekken 4. Or you got, like I said, that black dude, he's from Tekken 7. Like they like I said, they took liberties. So it was definitely that. And then even like my favorite move, they didn't fully animate it. I forgot what the move was called, but that 3 spin and then a kick. They always did like 1 spin and then a kick. I'm like, that always had like 3 different moves. Well, if you did it right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the 3 low kicks, and then he does a what's a push kick or medium kick.
Right.
So like I said, they took the liberties. I'm not gonna lie, like I do like King was a threat. Cause I actually do like King.
Mm-hmm.
They did touch on that. They did touch on that the original King did die, which that's a fact. I mean,
right? They did, yeah, because they said that a while back that the original King died and stuff like that. But they be switching up the shit because you can still got games that will have both of them on there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, are you talking about King or Armor King? Because those are 2 different characters.
They have hold up. They have King and Armor King in the same game.
Well, those are 2 different people.
Right, but
I think
the original King had supposed to have died.
Yeah.
So I
and
don't
the original
know.
Armor King died too. That's like this Armor King too.
Oh, okay. I gotta go back and look at that.
Yeah, so they both died. So the original ones both are dead. So that was one thing. What else? Yeah, Julia Chang just came out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
She was just there, and then they didn't even touch on the what's called the Williams sisters beef, like on any level.
Wow.
And I think what was it? What was it? Hey Hachi's was an adopted son, was it Lee or whatever? He was like what's I think he was only there in the intro, but he was just kind of like there, just like they just kind of touched on and like that's what I'm saying. They didn't even feature a lot of characters. I mean, I guess I'm limited on time, but I feel like they could expanded this series a little bit longer.
It most definitely was limited, and they was not trying to take the risk because they just ended it like that. They didn't even try to make it last longer.
Well, it should last. I mean, I don't really mind the ending because that's exactly not exactly, but
I think it ended where it was supposed to.
Yeah, it ended where it's supposed to. Yeah, I do believe that.
Yeah.
But just everything about it, it's like they took a lot of liberties, and they didn't really like they focus on all these, like they focus on a lot of characters. I'm like, why? Like it's. I mean, there's so many other like iconic characters that you should have featured. That should have been more featured.
Right.
So,
but I mean, I like when people have. Oh my god. I like when people have fun. I'm sorry. I just seen something that's rather disturbing.
What? If we want to change topic, we could change topics. It's fine.
No. I could for Tekken.
Yeah.
All I really have to say is that I enjoyed it. So far as accuracy, there was some,
and there was a lot.
There was some stuff, but the problem is for me, I like when people take chances and do different stuff. Some people don't like it. Some people get so hung up on nostalgia that they don't like them to change anything.
I mean, it depends. It depends. When you totally mischaracterize and change, like I'll put it like this. To me, Tekken Bloodline, it wasn't bad. It was okay. I mean, it's not the greatest thing. I mean, I want to call it. I like you said. I agree. I think it's doing its own thing. But the thing is, it's not really that people want things to be the same. It's just that just stay true to the values of the characters. Like that. The Tekken Bloodline isn't bad. It's just it just took liberties, but it's not bad. I'm gonna say it's the worst I've seen. Where you watch some of these shows and movies, and they just totally mischaracter a character and totally change what like the core of a character, so they're not even recognizable of what or who they used to be. And that's really, I feel like, where the issue comes from.
Right. Well, yeah. When it's that bad, then yeah. But like for instance, I say because like people be scared. Like thank you. Like the Lion King. Lion King could have went a totally different way. I thought it was okay, but they pretty much did a live action version of the same exact movie and took out the parts of the movie that made it fun.
Yeah.
Basically. That's
yeah.
what they did.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like I was like, so I guess being more mature is being boring.
Yeah, I agree. Like I'll be honest with you. Yeah, that movie was like, It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't like the worst, but it's like, It wasn't. Like I said, I mean, still the anime. I mean, that's most of those movies. Most of those anime series totally are superior to the live action movies. But so, and let me say this again. I don't mind them changing things and taking chances. That's fine. But like when it's a total mischaracterization, and like, or even if it's like character assassination, that's where I have an issue. So, but outside those things, like, yeah, I mean, I'm like you can't, like, when you adapt things, it cannot be the same. That's kind of impossible. You had to like I expect some change. I expect so that's why I said Tekken Bloodlines wasn't that bad. I'm not trying to say Tekken. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, compared to watching Cyberpunk, which that show got it spot on. It's got that universe spot on.
I didn't watch. I haven't played Cyberpunk,
Yeah.
and I haven't watched Cyberpunk. So
Yeah, that's because you don't like to
that
support
one.
the culture.
What culture?
Yeah. Look
What's
up
culture is Cyberpunk?
what's
Huh? Hello? What happened? Hello?
G's mic fell apart.
That shit just said blank. I'm thinking something happened. I bit down and the shit went blank. So I'm thinking I did something because I'm trying to pump up my tire,
Mhm.
which is I'm gonna have to figure out something in a minute because I shouldn't have to keep pumping this tire.
am I back? Test. Am I back? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you back.
Okay, cool.
Told you his mic fell apart.
But yeah, but what was I saying? Yeah. So I would just say the issue is because when you had to translate things, like there's gonna be changes. Oh yeah. No, that's what I was saying. My fault. Going back. Yeah. So what I was saying is like you don't know who created Cyberpunk?
No, all I know is that the game came out and it was glitchy.
Mm-hmm.
Like
So
most of the games you recommend before they come out.
no, that's not true. That's not true. That's not true at all.
Every game that
No, it wasn't every game. It was
I
2
can't-
games. Don't get it twisted. It was only 2 games.
Like, oh, this is gonna be, and I'll be like,
Again, it was only
Nope.
2. No, it's only 2 games, and that was what's it called? What's that one? Was it Last Planet? What's that what it's called?
huh?
What's the one I recommend? Was it the Lost Planet or Last Planet?
Uh,
Oh no. No.
it was a couple. It's hard to remember.
No, it was
all
not a
of them.
couple. That's bullshit. Don't lie. Now you lying. It was only 2.
Look, you ain't gotta lie, Craig.
Yeah, like I said, don't be lying. You lying. Now you lying. It was only 2. No Man's Sky.
Well,
No Man's Sky.
one of them to me wasn't as bad as other people said it was.
Which was?
Mostly people were disappointed because they had different expectations than I did.
Which was
Watch Dogs, the first one.
I didn't recommend you with Watch Dogs.
Yeah, you did.
No, I didn't.
You want to know how you recommended me with Watch Dogs? Because guess what? I didn't even know nothing about Watch Dogs until I talked to you.
No, I didn't recommend you
Boom.
Watch Dogs. And like I said, Watch Dogs wasn't bad. It wasn't broken. It just was like, yeah, it didn't meet expectations, but it wasn't glitchy. It just didn't meet expectations.
It flopped though for the most part.
It didn't flop. It didn't flop.
It did flop.
It didn't flop.
The beginning stages, the shit flopped.
No, there was a lot of complaints. There was a lot of complaints.
People were complaining,
but then
it wasn't graphically powerful as they showed it on the preview.
Yes, but no, I didn't recommend you that.
To me, it wasn't that big. It wasn't that bad of a difference.
Yeah, but
when I saw it,
the only 2 games I recommended you, and the 2 I recommend was No Man's Sky, and I'll give you Cyberpunk.
That flop.
Yes, so I did recommend you No Man's Sky, and I recommend you Cyberpunk. Those are the only 2 I really recommend. Everything else, no, we may have conversations with games and things I thought, but I never recommended it to you.
No Man's Sky apparently has been updated and it's better now.
Oh, people say that game's amazing now.
Yeah, so I've been thinking about getting it because of that.
Mm-hmm. But like I said, don't put my name like I recommend you all these back. We may have conversations about it, but I only recommended you only 2 games. That's it. And that was No Man's Sky and Cyberpunk.
I ain't gonna go back and forth with you, brother, because I don't remember.
I know you don't. That's why I'm reminding you. Like
you
ain't gonna dare my name on this podcast. Hell no.
Yeah.
I'm usually spot on with my game selection. But anyways, with
that being said, I don't know about that
one. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about messing with you.
Like I said, Listen, I know my game. Okay, recent time. Well, let's be honest. Recent time is just.
What's all that shrubbery on your face?
What?
You look like Pennywise.
Oh, you talking to somebody else?
Hello.
Yeah. Okay. You talking?
Yeah,
About
no, I just passed my daughter coming from school.
Oh, okay.
I'm pissed off at her. We could talk over. That's what we could change the subject. My daughter fell asleep in class, and when she fell asleep in class, it was she fell asleep in class and missed the school bus, and the teacher didn't wake her up. How do you feel about that?
I don't have a kid, so I'm the wrong person to ask. But there is somebody in here who does have a kid, and they'll have. It'd be better to ask them about it.
How do you feel about that?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you were breaking up like Megatron.
Hold on.
You're back now.
Okay, probably because it was it's switching from audio to mobile data probably. That's why I had to switch devices.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I'm even going. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'll let you and James take that on because I don't have any kids, so I'm the wrong person to ask.
Oh, fucker, you don't have to have kids to ask them about that. How would you feel?
I don't know. I really don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I never thought about
If
it.
you had a kid,
I'm like, for real, how do you feel about it?
that doesn't make no damn sense. You don't have to have a kid. How would you feel if you had a kid and the teacher didn't wake him up?
Right.
Hey, Megatron, you breaking up again. Hey, Megatron, you breaking up again. Yeah, you breaking up. And you sound like Megatron right now. All right, so basically, if I had a kid and the teacher let him sleep through the bus and then wake him up, I think, because I don't know how I really would react, but I think I think I'll be probably pissed because if you know my kid had to catch the bus and you didn't wake him up till the class is over and they missed it, I'll probably be pissed off at the teacher because that doesn't make any sense.
Well, I mean, how your teacher know you got to catch the bus though? That ain't their fucking job.
Yeah, that's the counter. That's why I said I don't know. Like it's not a situation like that's not a situation I normally think about.
What do you mean? It doesn't. It's again. You don't have to No one normally thinks, how would I feel if my kid fell asleep in class and missed? No one's gonna fucking normally think that.
Oh, fair enough.
It's just a question, bro.
I mean, like I said, my answer is, because I don't know. For me, that's a little tough because the more I don't think about it. But just think about it right now. It's off the top of the dome. I think I'll be mad at the teacher. But you made a good point. It's not her job to know if my kid got to catch the bus or not. But at the same time, it's like you're just gonna let the kid you're just gonna let a kid just sleep through the end of school and just leave him in the classroom. That doesn't make any sense either.
You said they left him in the classroom.
Well, basically what Keez said was the teacher let his daughter sleep in class and then she missed the bus. So that must mean
He said he left him in the class. No, just the bell rung. Kid was still asleep. The bus bus drivers don't fuck around. All right.
Yeah, agree.
You got to go. Just because one kid decided they ain't gonna do something, then that don't mean shit about the rest of them.
Agree.
That's actually your fault as a fucking parent.
Wait, whoa. How is it a parent's fault? That doesn't make any sense.
Why your kid falling asleep in fucking class?
Fair point. I can't even argue that point. That's
hold on. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's your job. See, now that's the shitty part. Because over the years, parents are like, don't fucking, you're here to teach my kid. You're not here to fucking be my kid's blah, 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 which is true. So if your kid's doing something stupid like that, then, it's an accident. It's an accident. It happens sometimes. But, should the teacher have probably woke the kid up? Yes. Should the kid not have fallen asleep in class? Yes. So at the end of the day, is it a wash? Yes. I
Okay,
mean,
I could agree
I
with
don't
that.
know.
I agree with that. But I also want to ask a question because it's something I hear and I want to hear your views as a parent. And I've been thinking about this for a while because I know when I was going to school, I heard the same thing. And it was when teachers call your kids my kids. And I want to know, like, especially I guess since you already went through the process, I don't know if a teacher ever called your kid their kid, but I want to know how do you feel about that as a parent?
The fuck you mean? They called my kid their kid. The fuck you mean? Like all these are my kids? Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't really feel nothing about it. It's not like, I mean, if that's the case, then where are they Christmas presents at?
And that's kind of my argument. And because in my personal opinion, I kind of think today I feel like just kind of listening to things and listening to other parents and listening to stories. I think the messages is kind of starting to get blurred, and I don't think it's a good idea. Like kind of like I think that's where a lot of the mistakes I think are being made. And I wouldn't say a lot, but some of the mistakes are being made. Is that a lot of these teachers and a lot of these people feel like these kids are their kids, but they don't have to deal with the responsibility of taking care of the kids. They'll sit there and say, "These are my kids," but you have no responsibility or no claim to them. So
Yeah, but I mean, teachers kind of do have that responsibility. I mean, that was one of the big things that we talked about, back in the day is like you have to understand that when my kid goes to school, I relinquish fucking responsibility to you guys. You guys are the ones that need to keep them safe, okay? I don't need some stupid shit to happen while they're there.
yeah,
Right.
So that's kind of like if the teacher's saying, "Oh, these are my kids," like in my head, I'm like, "All right, whatever." But I'm not gonna take a big issue to that. Like you don't get to discipline my kid. You don't take my kid out for treats. You don't, buy my kid school clothes or Christmas presents. So I mean, but I do expect that my kid is to get, taught the curriculum and to be safe in the environment that they're in when I'm not around.
So was it? I know I'm just chiming in, but do you feel the teacher was wrong for not waking her up?
Like I said, to me, it's kind of a wash because you can point a finger at the teacher and they're gonna point it right back at you.
Hmm.
So they're
Okay.
gonna
Okay.
why they're gonna be
Well,
like, "Why
okay.
is your kid falling asleep in class?"
Right. Okay. Now, what about you, G?
I just kind of agree with him
She
because
didn't
I
have no damn conversation. She
You
didn't
didn't
have
have no opinion?
thing.
no,
She didn't.
I agree. I just agree with him because I mean the way he explained it makes sense to me. So
Like I
Okay.
said, he ain't had no damn
So,
opinion.
well, this is what I say. First of all, I'm not mad at the teacher. That's number one. I'm more upset. I'm upset. I'm completely upset with her. For one, she's an AP student. She's an honor student, whatever. She knows better than because she got comfortable. She claims her head was feeling some kind of way. So she put her headphones in her ear and put her head down. So
Mm-hmm.
she getting comfortable to go to sleep. That's one.
Yep.
Two, the teacher's a male teacher, and with the way things are, I don't blame him because if he would have touched her to wake her up, then that puts him in a position for accusations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I wanted to touch bases on that because it's sad that we as men have to go through that.
hold on. I don't want to jump to that because that's entirely different conversation.
Oh no, I'm not going to get too in deep depth with
No,
that.
no,
I'm
no.
just saying,
It's not. No, it's not that. I want to go there, but I actually had a question before that when you were gone,
okay, go ahead.
and that's the reason why. So I asked James. I want to hear from you, and I said some of the problems I feel that happens in these schools is that a lot of these teachers like to think of their students as like their kids, and the one that I asked James about is how do you feel when your teachers call like your kid like it's their kid, like they say, yeah, this is my kid.
That doesn't bother me.
That's my question.
Doesn't bother me as long as it's not. I mean, in a playful manner, does not bother me at all. Because that lets me know that you're going to treat my kid like it's your kid.
Yeah,
Meaning
but
you're going to look out for that. Meaning you're going to look out for that child and make sure that child is on the up and up. Actually, I prefer more personal teachers like that. We don't have enough of them.
I disagree actually.
I don't think we have enough of them.
I
You think you
disagree.
have a lot of bullshit? You have a lot of bullshitters and a lot of substitutes.
I mean, so again, I don't have
even in the colleges. Look at AVC. How many professors pissed you off from not being on time?
Hold on, no. Okay, hold on. That's talking about us. I'm not talking about us.
All right, I'm just saying.
No, I get what you're saying, but that's not, I'm not talking about us. In my personal opinion, just from what I see and what I've talked to other parents about, from hearing from other people, I feel like these teachers are starting to get a little too involved in these kids' lives. Too involved in certain kids' lives to the point where they're starting to kind of treat these kids like their kids. And I get what you're saying, where it's like, yeah, they're going to protect them, whatever. But I do think, listen to some people, some of these teachers kind of go a little bit overboard and like treat these kids like they're kids, but they don't have to take on the responsibility. So they'll go ahead and like talk to them and teach them things, whatever, without even trying to involve the parents at times.
Right.
And that's kind of my issue. I think right now, like, and that's my feeling, at least from talking to other people and just reading stories, whatever.
Well,
it's that to me, I think some of these teachers, certain teachers are trying to overstep that barrier and trying to blur the line. Like, well, this is my kid. I'm like, hold on, the way you talk, like that's a little too much. Like, it's your student, not really your kid. Yeah, we want you to take care of.
Now,
hold on, let me just finish. Now we want you to take care of your kid like it's your. I mean, my fault. We want you to take care of our kid like it's your kid. We don't have an issue with that. But when you start blurring that line, trying to act like that's your kid, you don't have to necessarily take on the responsibility of raising this kid, or don't have to deal with like the payments or none of that stuff. That's where I think it gets a little much.
You got an example?
So okay, so I'll just say this. So there was this story that was going out in 2020 when there was like basically distant learning. Mm-hmm. And there was a story that came out in the news where basically certain schools try to, like ask their kids or, ask the students, whatever, to be like, hey, make sure your parents are in the room, or just let me know if the parents are in the room, or they didn't want the parents there for that. And to me, it's like, wait a minute, what do you mean? Like, this is my child, and you don't want me in the room when you're teaching my child. It's like, all right, what's going on here? What are you teaching my child? So that's kind of a better example.
And something like that, if it's an experiment, then it's acceptable. Or in a situation where a teacher or a psychologist is trying to make sure nothing is wrong, that makes sense too. But I can see how that can make somebody uneasy. But you got to think of it nowadays. You got kids getting abducted, beaten, and the kid might not want to say nothing with their parents around if their parents is the abusers, so that can be.
But we're not talking about abuse of parents,
right? But I'm just saying that's the only time. That's the only time I feel that that's acceptable.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, we're not even talking about abuse or anything. We're talking about everyday parents. We're talking about the normal run-of-the-mill parents.
I can't see a situation where that would happen.
It was in a news story. It happened. It literally happened. Yeah, it happened. It happened back in 2020. It was a news story.
Hold on, real quick. I'm going in here. I'm gonna go blank real quick.
Okay. She wasn't nowhere near me.
Yeah, I vaguely remember what I was saying, other than just the fact.
Yeah, no, I'm about to remind you. Yeah, basically,
go ahead.
Yeah, no, basically what we were talking about. Just to remind you, basically what we're talking about. I feel like the merging between the teachers, like the teachers are like teachers calling kids their kids. I have an issue with that. I feel like it's kind of merging. Teachers telling their students or telling kids to tell the parents to stay out the room when they're teaching, and I have a real issue with that. You were basically saying that, okay, I can understand the abuse, whatever, and I basically said that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the everyday parents, somebody that's just there, right, watching a kid. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not even considering the abuse like that. I'm not considering the extreme. I'm talking about just the standard parent.
Now, real quick though, the thing about it is, there's two sides to every story. I want to know why did the teacher want to? Did the teacher say why?
I mean, I'll just tell you like I'll just tell you this. I'll just tell you like this, man. Like me personally, like to me, I don't care. I don't care why. Mm-hmm. Like I said, we're talking about everyday parent. We're not talking about the extremes. We're not talking about the abuse.
Okay,
we're talking about the everyday parent.
Okay, friend. Not even an abusive parent. You in the room while the teacher's trying to teach the student. The student might not be paying attention to the teacher, or you might be disrupting the student by telling the student to do something or something like that, or taking away from what the teacher is teaching. So there's different situations.
Well, I can't even count. I mean, use an example.
That's why I said that's why I'm saying like, I need to know the reason that the teacher said, because it's some justifiable reasons to do that. That's why if I could find a justification, that means somebody else can. So if they don't have no real justification as to why, just because they feel like they don't want the parents, then yeah, that's wrong.
This is my whole entire thing. And you kind of touch on that's kind of my issue, is that if you want me to leave the room, which okay, fine, you need to tell me why, and that's like you said, why, and that's the thing. It's like from my understanding, these teachers just said they didn't want the parent out of the room, and from what I read, I don't know all of those details. But to me, if you can't, like you just said, I agree. If you can't tell me why, that's a fucking issue to me. Like that's crossing the line. I should be allowed to.
That's the problem. Hello?
I'm listening.
No, I said that's a problem. But there's, it's tough because there could be situations where there's something going on at that moment, and they're trying to teach, and you're disrupting the.
And you're gone.
Hello?
Yeah.
My bad. I could have sworn I put block calls while I'm on the Zoom meeting, but it still did it. But anyway, no. It could be like at the moment. That's what I'm saying, because the reason I say this is because parents, especially I call them Karen parents, they tend to blow stuff up bigger than it is. And if they were in the city, they'll feel entitlement. Like I have where I work at, somebody's parent called, and I take care of adults. And they were like, well, I'm like, he's not up. He was like, tell him that his mom's on the phone to make him get up. I said, hey, we already tried that. And she was like, no, tell him. And I'm like, hold up. I'm with another client right now. I'm not going to go out of my way and stop what I'm doing to go get your son because you're telling me to. So I say that because some parents feel a certain sense of entitlement. And so without having the full contents, it's hard to figure that one out, because entitled and was trying to overstep the teacher for whatever reason. I can understand why the teacher said that the parent needs to leave the room. You get what I'm saying?
I mean,
it's best for that. Go ahead.
Put it like this.
Hello?
Yes, if a parent is if a parent's being disrupted, okay, I could see your point. But to me, it still doesn't matter, because that's still your child. And I don't care what anybody said. I don't care the reason of it. It have nothing to do with entitlement. That's my fucking child. It stops there. It
don't matter. That
does matter.
You're proving my point.
No, that does matter.
You just proved my point.
Oh shit!
No,
my point.
No, hold on, wait.
I'm continuing to prove my point.
That's fine, because yes, that is your child. You should be entitled. You should be entitled to your child. That's your child. Now,
Wah, wah.
no. Let me explain.
No,
Let me explain.
You're not
Let me
doing what I'm
explain.
saying.
Let me
Go
explain.
ahead.
Let me explain.
Uh-huh.
So no, I totally get if you're being disrupted, yeah. But at the end of the day, again, that goes back to like that's your child. Like if I want to sit like just like my mom did when I was a kid. Like I said, if I want to sit down and watch my kid be in class and do a lesson plan, I should have that right as a parent. Now, yes, if
You
you're
also
there
have a right
every
to
day,
be a distraction.
doesn't whatever. I don't care. If I want to sit in a class one day,
Exactly.
but that's my point. At the end of the day, that's still your fucking child. It doesn't
You're not
matter.
getting what I'm saying.
No, I get exactly what you're saying. It can be disruptive to your class. I hear you. But that's what I'm saying. Why do you feel like you have a right to override a parent?
Because it's your class.
Wait. What were you saying,
ahead,
James?
Yeah, I want to hear what
I
James has to say.
just said it's because it's their classroom.
Thank you.
At the end of the day, bro, it's their classroom. See, this is what you're not getting.
Go ahead.
Is your kid homeschooled?
No, I mean, in the
In
context
the
of the conversation, no.
It's not.
Yeah,
No,
the
it is not.
no.
No, your kid's not homeschooled because they're sitting in a teacher's classroom.
Yeah.
Are you gonna come to your kid's class every fucking day?
Well, that's what I already said.
Are
that.
you gonna come to your kid's
I
class?
already said
Oh,
that.
you did. You said if I want to sit in, blah blah blah.
I said, but no, but my specific words. If I want to sit in for a class for a day, then yeah, I tried to write.
Yes,
But I also said, hold on, wait.
I mean, you can talk loud, but it's still not gonna make your point.
No. I did say. No, I'm just adding on to what you're saying. I did say that yes, if I'm coming in every day, yeah, that's a problem. That shouldn't be happening. But if I choose to come into my kid's class for like one day or one period, I should have that right.
It's great. The question I asked her, are you going to be there every day? And you said, no, that's what I said.
No, I did. That's not what I said. I just clarified that point because there's some nuance there.
Are you going to be in that class Are you going to be in that class every day? Just answer the fucking question.
Oh my God, no.
Okay, simple. So what he's saying is, you coming in there like, oh, I have the right. You're already being a distraction. And it doesn't matter. It's my kid, yes, but it's their classroom. Guess what? There's more than your kid in that classroom. There's 30 plus other fucking kids in that classroom trying to learn. So just because you want to distract your kids' fucking education, that don't mean shit to the other kids. So either one, you take your fucking kid out of this class,
which I agree with.
You shut the fuck up and let me teach. If I say get the fuck out, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, which I agree with. I think yeah. If you're not going to do that, I have a right.
So if the teacher says, make sure your parents are out of here because I don't want your parents giving you the answers, talking shit about how I'm teaching or anything like that, and you don't like it, take your fucking kid out of the class and don't worry about bitching about it.
That's what I'm referring to.
Exactly.
And you know what? And I'll give you that point. Like I said, I wasn't talking that extreme, but I get what you're saying. So
no, but that's just it. You were talking that extreme.
No, I was not.
You said, and I quote, I don't give a fuck, that's my kid, so you can't tell me what to do with my kid. Well, if your kid's being taught by me, that's the same thing I said before. When you're a parent and you relinquish your kid to that school, you're hoping that teacher's going to educate your kid and keep them safe. If you're going to sit there and be like, nah, fuck that, and you're going to micromanage the situation, then just take your fucking kid out of the class.
And I said I agree with that. That's what I'm saying. If I go in there, I'm not happy what the teacher's doing, or they don't do something I don't like. Yeah, I should pull my kid out the class. I agree with that.
But you didn't say that before.
Yeah, I'm saying the entitlement attitude aspect of it. Too many parents do it. That entitlement, it's my kid. It's my kid. And they feel this sense of entitlement. And that's what messes stuff up. That's why these ghetto parents, and they get mad when they get disrespected.
Right, I'll give you that.
When they come around, it's because they feel that entitlement, and they feel like, I should be able to do this, or I should be able to do that because of this or because of that. Despite policy, despite rules, they feel like this is what needs to be happening.
I mean, okay, yeah, in that sense, I mean, especially when you're talking in that context, I understand what you're saying. But
Right.
but again, like I said,
That's why I said again, we have to figure out why the teacher said, "Hey, I don't want you. I don't want you. I don't want your parent in here while I'm teaching." And what happens with us? The news will take
wait,
it.
hold on, wait, pause. We're
Uh-huh.
not talking about just us. We're talking about parenting.
I'm not talking about. I'm
well,
not
no,
saying
because
black or nothing like
not
that.
no much. You said ghetto parents. I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about just an everyday parent. We could,
Okay,
so let's
everyday
go there.
parents.
Yeah,
It's a lot of parents that feel entitled. A lot of them.
Okay.
A lot of them.
But
A whole lot of them.
But shouldn't they have a right to be, since that's their child? They got to take on the majority of the risk.
Yep, and they have a right to take them out of class too.
And I agree with that.
So it's my whole thing is a perfect example is there was a student and one of my schools, and we're not supposed to wear do rags and stuff to class. So the parent came to school hollering and screaming at in the office and saying that my kid don't have to take off their do rag and all this stuff like this. Now she made an issue. Now it's a ghetto school. They got tired of dealing with her, so they dealt with it. But guess what? Now you have a problem. Now what's the problem? Now every other kid that's walking around with a do rag on is going to be expected to keep it on.
All right. Well, hold on. But like again, you went back to the ghetto school. I wasn't even talking about that. Like I get that reasoning. I'm not arguing against that. Like I get that reasoning. Like yeah, that in that situation, that context makes sense. But I told you, I'm not talking about a ghetto school either. I'm more talking about in a normal setting. Hold on. Are you saying something? Because I can't hear you. Okay. Well, until he comes back, I'll just finish my point. So this is one thing. One thing I was trying to tell you is that I'm not trying to talk about the ghetto schools. You know, like I get what you're saying. Yes, I agree. Yeah, in that situation, that makes sense. That context makes sense to me. I'm not really mad about that. But when I'm talking about just in general, just like, you know, you as a parent, just everyday parent coming up and say, hey, I want to come to the school because or like, for example, I just want to sit in on my kids' lessons plan to see what their teachers are saying, what they're doing. I just want to know what's going on. Just because I'm curious, I just want to know what my kid's doing.
You can't do that.
You can't do that?
Mm-mm.
I think that's a problem then.
You have to. Well, I mean, like you can do it, but you can't just walk up there like, yeah.
Yes, of course.
To have an appointment, you have to do all that shit.
Of course, that's fine. I don't mind that.
So again, if the teacher is trying to establish the status quo, because the problem that happened, especially during the pandemic, was a lot of those kids just literally tricked off.
Hello.
Yeah, we're here.
You hear me?
Yeah, we're here. I'm James talking right now, though. We can hear you. You're good.
So those kids actually got stupider.
Yes, that's true.
So,
that's facts. That's facts.
If your teacher's trying to establish, this motherfucker just left again. If your teacher's trying to establish a common setup of this is how we're gonna do it as status quo, so your parents don't need to be here. Again, I mean, how are you gonna argue that? If you want to argue that, then take your kid out of the fucking class.
Yeah. But I still feel like, and that's what I'm saying. Like if I'm just a parent, like I said, I'll go through all the paperwork, and I sit there and say, hey, I just want to sit in for a period, see how my kid's doing. I should have that right. Now, yes, I agree. I agree with what you say. Like you should just be able to walk up to school and be able to do that.
Huh?
What?
I said I agree. I said you have entitled parents who feel like it's because it's their kid, they don't have to follow rules.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, and this is just my point. That's why I'm saying I'm talking about just like a regular or everyday school, normal school,
I'm
like
talking
a middle
about
class.
regular everyday school.
No, you said ghetto school.
Okay, so, regular school, ghetto school, it's all the same. It's worse. It's worse at a prestigious school because you have a Karen.
Oh yeah, no, hands down. But I'm talking about like I'm talking about a regular. I'm talking about regular middle class school. That's it.
I'm telling you. Like again, We don't know why the teacher wanted the parent not to be there.
I
That's
get
what
what
it
you're
boils
no,
down
no,
to.
no. I get what you're saying, but like I said, but I'm just saying, like my whole entire point is simply this: to sit there and deny a parent a right to either one to know what's going on in the classroom, or not even get a lessons plan, not at least know what's being put into their child's head. I think it's an issue in general. I think you should at least, like, if a parent has a question, or if a parent, like I just said with James, if I go through the proper procedures, I go in, write up, say I want to visit my kid for a period, sit in a classroom, and then bounce. I should have that right because I just want to know what's going on. If I ask a teacher, or if I ask a teacher or a faculty member, say, hey, I want to know what is going on with my kids, what they're being taught, what the lesson plan is, I should have the right to be able to see that and read it and see if I accept it or not. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I'm saying. I'm not talking about the extreme, like when you're talking about, my kids coming to school in a durag, they don't allow durags. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I'm not really talking about that. I'm just talking about, that's what I'm saying. I'm talking about the everyday parent. We're not talking about a group or the ghetto, whatever. I'm talking about I'm just talking about just a generalized middle school kid where everybody's at all together. Just a regular parent, not a ghetto parent, not going to ghetto school, just a regular parent, just saying, I just want to know what's going on with my kid. I think a parent should have the right to know what's going on with the kid and what's being taught to the kid.
You can set up a meeting, find out what's going on with your kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is that if what I'm saying is the teacher could justify. That's the whole thing to me. It's like, is it justifiable for the teacher to say, hey, you need to tell your parent to get out the room? Now, if there's a way it could be justifiable. So then now the next argument is to what was the reason? You say, because with the way you're putting it, is under no circumstances should the teacher tell the parent that they can't be in the room, and that's not true.
Well, yeah, and I would say, like, with those reasons, I could roll that back. What I'm saying is my more issue is I just believe that a parent should have the right to at least know what's being taught to the kids. I'm not saying you got to sit in the classroom.
That's when you have that's why the parent teacher conference is for.
Yeah, but even when my kid enters school, I should be able to say, hey, can I know the lesson plan, see what they're going to be taught
while they're in school?
No, like,
James, you want to take this one?
What?
I said, James, you want to take this one? He said, while they're in school.
That's not what I said. I didn't say while they're in school. I said if I just go up and say, hey, can I get the lesson plan, see what my kid's gonna be learning this year? I feel like I should have a right to be able to see the lesson plan, see what I don't need to see like all of these and everything, but I should be able to at least be like, get a lesson plan so I can see what.
Nobody's gonna. No fucking teacher is going to look. Let me put you mind at ease when you have a kid, bro.
All right.
No goddamn teacher's gonna give you no fucking lesson plan. They're gonna give you the same rubric that they send the kid home with at the beginning of the year. Fair enough. You want my fucking lesson plan, go to the district because they're the ones that give out the lesson plan. So if you want to go jumping up and down, like again, if it's that serious that you need to learn the teaching plan, then you need to just teach your kid. No fucking teacher's gonna waste their time with that. If a teacher did that, especially you got 30, let's say 35 students times 6.
I'll play with you in a minute, okay?
How many goddamn kids that is? That's over 200 students, and every parent gonna need a rest plan. Get the fuck out of here. I would laugh in your face.
All I'm saying is it's possible to be justifiable. So the next thing what we would have to figure out is why the teacher stated it. And if the teacher didn't come up with a good reason as to why they stated it, now we have a problem.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's all I'm basically saying too. It's like if I don't mind you saying that, but you need to give me a reason. I need to know why.
Also, right at that moment, explanation might not be in the workings. Talk to me after class. Talk to me during the meeting. Don't talk to me while I'm teaching. I agree with that.
I agree with
don't
that.
have
Like, you don't want to
time.
disrupt
I
the
don't
class.
have time. I don't
Yeah.
have time to stop my lesson plan to explain to you why you shouldn't be in here right now.
Well, I mean, I get
I'll
that.
gladly explain that to you after class.
Yeah, no, I mean, I get that. I get that. I totally get that. Yeah, you don't want to disrupt the classroom. I totally understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying, yeah, you like I said, yeah. I mean, if I want to have a conversation, yeah, like that's all I'm saying. Like what you just said, like yeah, if you just tell me outright, no, I ain't gonna tell you nothing. Like hold up, you gotta at least give me a good reason.
That's
yeah,
what it's gonna. That's what it's gonna be during. That's what it's gonna be during class time.
I didn't say during. I'm not necessarily saying during class time. I'm saying if a teacher says leave the room, I said that's fine, but you need to explain this to me.
So
At least
you're talking about a teacher one-on-one talking to a teacher after class.
I mean, whatever. Like if he said, "Hey, I'll talk to you,"
but because that's a whole.
hold on, wait. You keep jumping. No. Keep it. Let's consolidate this. You keep jumping. You keep pushing it too far. All I'm saying is simply this: if I sit there and say, "Hey, I need you to lead the class because you're disrupting the class," I'm like, "Okay, cool, that makes sense." Or just saying, hey, "Okay, that's fine." Just want to know and say, "Okay, here, let me talk to you. And I'll explain to you real quick." You know, like you can take me to the side, just explain to me real quick, like,
No, you
"Hey,
can't.
yes, you can after class, yeah, absolutely." I can
After class, if that's what you want. But guess what? What I'm saying is they don't have to explain that to you in the midst of, and that's where entitled parents will have a problem because now you're what if let's just put it this way. What if let's just say 3 parents. One parent comes in, wants to say why you want me to leave, and the teacher give him an explanation and say I could talk to you after class. Okay, boom. Now he goes back to his class. Then another parent comes and do the same thing, and another parent come and do the same thing. Now it's about what 10 minutes before the bell ring. The students miss half of his lecture because he's too busy explaining himself to parents coming in there as to why that they need to leave and that he can talk to him after class.
I mean, like I said, it doesn't have to be that long. You could just sit there and say, "Hey, you know, I'm trying to teach my class. You're disrupting. I can talk to you after class."
The reason I say it like that because I feel like the same problem happens in relationship predominantly with females.
Okay.
But I feel like that's the same thing happens, and people in general they when they have that sense of entitlement.
Well, hold on.
They
Let me just say this. Let me just say this. I mean, that's kind of extreme. Do you really think like that's an everyday thing where like a bunch of parents come in and talk? Like the only time I've ever seen a bunch of parents come in and talk to a teacher is because the teacher was a fuckhead. That's the only time
it's
I've ever
not
seen
an
it.
everyday thing, but I'm just saying. Listen, I said theoretically speaking.
Yeah, but I mean, let's just be more realistic, man. Like, let's not go all the way out to like things that like it's if that were to happen, it's very rare or there's usually something wrong. So let's keep it.
It justifies what the reason I bring it up because it justifies what I'm saying.
I get what I'm justifying, but like I said, let's go. All I'm saying is let's go with things that's just more like that's more normal to happen. Like what you said.
The teacher should not have to stop his lecture to explain to you why you.
That's not what I said. That's not what I said. I mean, you already said it. You already said, say, hey, you know, hey, you're disrupting your class. Can you please leave? Or even say, hey, you're disrupting my class. Let me talk to you after class real quick. You can leave. You know, like to sit down like that's an everyday thing or that's a normal thing of like 101 parents going to come in. It's possible. It's not probable.
Okay, it's possible.
But it's not probable. It's very unlikely. So you talk about a very small chance of that happening. I'm more talking about what's more probable, not possible.
It's
because when you talk about the possibility, you're making it too big and wide. You know what I'm saying? We gotta go with what's more probable.
Okay, so in a school setting, do you expect somebody to go by the rules, or do you expect somebody to do are you expect always to go off of their feelings?
Of course, off the feelings, but
no.
I just said it. Of course, off the feelings. I just said it. I said off the feelings.
No, the rules.
No, off the feelings. You're talking about parents, right?
No. I'm saying the school, right? Do you expect them to go base their
Oh, the school. Oh yeah, the
yeah?
school's off the rules, of course.
Do you expect them to base their thing off their rules or their feelings?
Oh yeah, if you're talking about the school, of course they're gonna do things off the rules, of course.
Okay, so if the rule is, hey, not right now, then that's it. That's what the rule is. So the reason that rule is in play is in case shit. You're right. You're right. It's not. It might not happen, but it's a possibility that it could happen. So if it's a possibility that
But
it
no,
could
my
happen,
issue, no, but this is my
you-
issue. This is my issue when you keep saying possibility. My problem with the possibility is that you make the argument too wide. That's why I say you gotta be more of a probable, like this was more likely to happen.
I'm
When you go with
painting. I'm
possibility,
painting.
like you're talking about something that just rarely happens.
I know, but I'm painting a picture. I'm painting a picture. See, saying well, the reason I'm doing that to paint a picture is to state why rules are important. That's how rules happen.
No,
Rules
I
happen
mean I get
because
that, but
a
let's
problem
just
occurs, a problem happens, and when a problem happens, to fix that problem, a rule gets set in play.
no, I get
So
what you're saying. I get what I don't need to detail the rules or why rules are in place. I think we all understand it. But what I'm saying is like when we're arguing the point, the problem is that when you go off of possibility and not probabilities, you make the argument way too wide and vast. So now you could just take all these extreme situations
that's
that's
not
gonna
that
happen.
big of
That's
an
very rare.
that's not that big of
Possible.
an extreme. I said three parents. I didn't say nothing. I didn't say 100 parents. I said three parents. That's not an extreme.
Yeah, but that's very unlikely that three parents unless it's an issue or I mean I would say that I would say yes when it comes to three parents
Could be
that could happen
possible.
but that's not necessarily common.
Put it this way: one parent come up there and they got two friends that's also parents, and one parent says he's not talking to me. The other parent say, "Oh no, I'm gonna make him talk to me.
Okay, yeah,
I'm
that
gonna
makes more
make him
sense.
talk." And then
That makes
and
a lot more sense.
the next parent say, "Oh no, You get what I'm saying? So in
Yeah, but
this,
that makes more sense because you're talking about three friends. That makes a lot more sense. I
I
could
said
agree with that.
I said three parents in the beginning. I didn't
All right,
try to
fair
go
enough.
too far from it.
All right,
All
fair
I'm
enough, fair
saying
enough,
is,
fair enough.
yeah, all I'm saying is if rules are set in play, I don't have time to explain to you why. And I people have a big problem with that sometimes. So when it comes to like shit, people feel that entitlement, and then they gotta have too much of an explanation right then and right there,
And,
right
and,
then.
and like I said, I conceded on that fact. I said that's fine. I
Mhm.
mean, and like I said, you said it best. And I said I agree. Where a teacher said, "Hey, you're disrupting my class. You know, can you please leave? You could come back after class. I'll talk to you then."
Right.
Yeah,
But
I
he
agree with
told me
that.
that so many times.
Yo,
Yeah,
yo, yo. Did you actually do research on this, G?
I mean, I did the research that I could.
No, you didn't.
I
Oh,
mean,
here we go. I
Can,
want to
can,
hear
you,
this.
can you tell me what school district this was, bro?
not off the top of my head. I don't have it right in front of my face. No, not off the top of my head.
Because the only one I can find while doing like 10 minutes of research is the school system in the district in Colorado, which sent waivers out to the parents to not observe their kids during the online class because um, they didn't want to have these parents recording or gathering information on the other students if they were to expose any personal information about the other.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
The fuck, dude, really, bro?
I mean, that makes sense. I could agree with that. I could agree with that.
Are you shitting me, dog? I just read the whole article on it.
Oh shit.
The school district even put out a statement saying that it's not them being secret about what they're teaching the kids. The whole curriculum is on their district website if they would like to see it, but they just don't want any of the. We actually believe that parent involvement is the key to a successful student, and you can, sit in on your kid and help your kid during their distance learning. But we would like to say that we don't want parents to what the fuck is this shit? Basically, they don't want parents finding out shit about the other students. So this is that waiver, and it wasn't that they said they're not going to do it. They made these parents sign waivers. So basically, that means if a parent did sit in and found something out and started telling people, that they're liable.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense to me.
We have issued new guidance for principals and parents that can assist their children during virtual group lessons with permission of the instructor. So yes, you can get permission from the teacher to sit in on anything you want.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, G. You gotta do some better research than that, pimp. But if you do not agree, the violation may result in removing your child from the virtual meetings. That's pretty much what I said. If you don't like it, you can get the fuck out.
Mm-hmm. Totally agree.
Yep.
That's the way PlayStation does us. They take all of our they take all of our personal information.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't want to agree to it, you don't have to play online on our servers.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they do that.
Which I think they have issues with that in general, but that's a whole entire different conversation.
You know what? We're pretty much fucked, bruh.
I agree.
Between phones, computers, and video games, all of our data is just being passed on like a doorknob, like a $2 hoe.
Mm-hmm. And the what you call it, and the U.S. has the audacity to sit there and say we're worried about China getting your information.
These companies and the information that they're obtaining is just to sell you shit at the end of the day. Truthfully, that's all it's about. Okay, Steven was on Amazon and he looked up Ninja Turtles. So when he's on his Facebook and he's on his
hey man, you broke up again.
I want to make sure
I didn't hear him break up.
Oh, can you hear me?
Oh no,
can
I
you hear me now?
Up on my end. You're good. Go ahead.
Okay, so if you're watching TV, we're gonna advertise Ninja Turtles to you because a couple of days ago we saw that you were searching for Ninja Turtles on Amazon. That's what they do. That's what the whole shit is at the end of the day.
The problem
is
go ahead,
passing information so they can sell shit to you.
The problem is though, depending on the data you can get, it can also be very dangerous if they figure out patterns, why people do things, for all that stuff matters. Depending on who has access to that information, and it can be used in pretty bad ways, even outside of sales.
To it.
Huh?
They all have access to it.
I'm not.
They have access to what we're doing right now.
But that's not what I'm saying. I'm not talking about they have access. I mean, we already established that they have access to all the information. My whole entire point is what I'm saying is that yes, it could be dangerous depending on who gets their hands on the information. Because even though it's for sales, depending on the information they get, it could be utilized for something very, very heinous than that.
And that's why they also have responsibility. And if they go against those responsibilities at that
all the
point,
time though.
but you got to be that person to look at the contract and find out if they really going against what they said they were going against.
Well, because, I think you just said it best though. I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter. It's already out there.
But I'm saying if the contract says every day you got to give me a lap dance, it's in the contract, bro. I'm just saying you can't knock nothing until you can. That disclaimer that you approve, that you sign off on, that you say, oh, I accept all the terms. If you accept all the terms and you don't look at those terms, and then some shit comes up and that shit's in them terms, you can't say shit. I do it to my customers all the time. I send them a disclaimer. I said you're responsible for your own proofing. After you have approved your item, if you want changes or reprint or redesign or anything like that, it is your responsibility to pay for it, not me, because I'll let you know, hey, you're responsible for your own proofing process.
It kind of depends, because depending on where you're at. I mean, it's very strenuous circumstances, But depending on where you're at, there are ways to get around it. Like for example, like I didn't know this, but my auntie was telling me about it. Like if you live in Atlanta, you can't do deposits. So
What I
so
got to do with us?
well, no, my whole entire point is it's like depending on how you write your contract, whatever. My whole entire point is there are ways around it depending on where you're at and if you know what you're doing in general.
Right, but if you go to a if you just go to I'm going off of email, which can be also be legally binding.
Yes, of course.
But if you agree to those terms, you agree to those terms. If I sit up here and say, if I do a video and I say, and I let you know you're being recorded, and and then I ask you, is it okay that you're being recorded? And you state yes. Then I say, do you accept these terms on that video? And you accept those terms, whatever terms those are on that video. If you accept those terms, and then later on you have something to say about it, I don't care where you are. You already made the video legally binding because you knew you were being recorded, and then you stated that you accepted the terms, whatever those terms may be. Hello?
Yeah, you were talking.
About, I think I already made my point.
Did you? Because you just kind of stopped in the middle of it. You just went mute.
Mm. Oh no! Yeah, I said just legally binding contract. I said I pretty much said it. If you accept the terms, you have to deal with the terms, and that's why it always bugs me to the point to where sometimes even on PlayStation, I'll sit there like this new thing that they got on PlayStation with this coin thing. I was actually sitting there reading the contract, but I started nodding off last night trying to read it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but that's why they do it on purpose. It's the same thing.
What?
How you ever seen a Have you ever tried to read in whatchamacallit? What's that shit called? A bill trying to be passed?
Yeah, it's long as shit.
That's an understatement, dude. It's an understatement.
It's like I don't even, and then you start getting the shit that you don't even know what it means.
Well, and the other thing that they did too, if you pay attention to it, is like sometimes they'll have a bunch of good stuff like in the entire thing, and then either like in the middle or at the very end they'll put like a lot of bull crap in there.
I have a bill to pass. All bills need to be in layman's terms.
No way. I mean, I agree, but no way.
Man, it'll be chaos, bro.
Well, I even say this. I think all bills need to start being separated too. They put too much crap in bills.
Yeah, this is true.
That'll help a lot, but they're never going to do that. They're never going to do that. Ever. Why would they do that? That doesn't make no sense. That puts you at a disadvantage. It's like what's happening. Like that's how you get a lot of bull crap in bills passed. You put it with a bunch of pages. That's one of the things that they were arguing about during the pandemic when they were passing bills. They're like, you guys gave us 1,000-page bill. You want us to like read it within like a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
That's impossible. Realistically, how are you gonna give me a freaking 1,000-page bill that's about to be passed, and you want me to get done? You want me to read it within 2 days and get through it and be able, and also like you said, be able to understand it also.